artificial intelligence on how to reveal me a glimpse of the glitch of the simulation. Wouldn't that be a real trip? Oh, let's take it together to find out how we can manipulate the script for just long enough for it to cause a chain reaction, no type of effect on the code to cause a reboot to awaken them from the safe mode.
Wow. I love old houses, though.
They're lovely houses, though.
I love old houses. I really cannot stand. I actually watched it was a little clip, a woman giving a little history thing about the London Bridge. And one of those like little short snippets, like so it's like 3 minutes long, right? So she goes through the whole thing. She's showing drawings of the original London Bridge. You know, the original London Bridge was built by the Romans, and that is where London was built because they built the bridge there. Like the Romans built the bridge first, and then they put London on beside the bridge, right? Like that's how it was designed. And they're showing all these, like, shows all these paintings of like London Bridge in like the kind of like right up until about the, I guess it was probably about the 1800s when it had all the houses on it and all the towers and all the, there was a big church right smack in the middle of it, and really, really beautiful. And then she goes and she's like, and then it was rebuilt in like 1902 or 1920 or something like that. And they show a bridge, and she goes, and then it was rebuilt in, I can't remember what era, like call it modern era. And she was like, what is this ugly piece of shit? It is a concrete, lackluster. No wonder every tourist comes to London and thinks Tower Bridge is London Bridge. Every tourist thinks the Tower Bridge is London Bridge. No, London Bridge is the ugliest piece of shit. It is just, and she's like, they like this has to be deliberate. They had to have deliberately made it this ugly because like you have to try hard to make it this ugly.
The previous London Bridge was bought by some big rich person and is here in the States now. So it's one of the things on my to-do list to go and see it.
Totally for a tenner.
Well, there was a story, and I have no idea if this is true, none whatsoever. But I can remember my grandpa telling me the story. So this would have been, my grandpa died in '93, so late '80s, early '90s at the absolute, I'd say more like late '80s, saying that some very rich guy from Saudi Arabia bought London Bridge. But he thought, like everyone else, that Tower Bridge was London Bridge. And then when he came to London and like took possession, so to speak, they took him to this just ugly thing. And he was like, no. And they were like, no, this is London Bridge. See, here's the sign. The sign right here says London Bridge. And he was like, that's not the, he thought that Tower Bridge was London Bridge. I have no idea if that's true. That was just a story my grandpa told me.
I've heard the same story. There's lots of people tried to buy Tower Bridge before.
Yeah. But the pictures of the old London Bridge are cool. Like really, really cool. Like the way it was all like, you know, the bridge going across and like that, the buildings just came out like this, and it was like a city on the bridge. There was like an entire little mini city that was on the bridge. There was markets, there was a church, there was a like very, very cool hotels, and there was like pubs and taverns, and yeah, it's very cool.
Exactly the same in Paris as well, Danny. There's especially in Paris. That's where the trend started, I think.
There was another one. I want to say there was another famous bridge that was like that too. Oh, I want to say Germany, but I don't think it was Germany. It may have been like Brussels or somewhere like that. It was the same thing, where it had this incredible old bridge. I have no idea where it is now, Gorf. Not a clue in the world. Not a clue. Not a clue. So yeah. I guess we should say, and welcome to the UnFuckIt discussion, everyone. So, rumor has it, and it's not been fully confirmed yet. Well, let's say there's lots of denial on this one going around from somewhat official sources, but the actual official sources I do not believe have made a statement. And the rumor is that Disney's new Snow White movie has been canceled because of all the hoo-hurrah over all these things. So I'm like, they're saying, no, it hasn't been canceled, but they haven't set a release date yet. And I'm like, which is, what is it going to be like, Aquaman 2 when they just have so much going on? They're just going to just keep pushing the release date back and push it back and push it back so that, it just never gets made. Go ahead, Leonida. What?
I'm a Spectrum customer here in the States, and Disney decided to turn off all their programming like about 9 o'clock in the evening about 2 days ago for Spectrum. And so that turned off ESPN, all the ESPNs, FX, ABC, I think is one of them. So all the channels on Spectrum that belong to Disney have gotten turned off because Disney wants more money. They want you to directly buy from them through Hulu instead of going through the cable company. Okay, because they think that everybody can stream. And my niece has no internet, and so they were getting ESPN through DirecTV, but that's been turned off as well. So right now, if you look on my Facebook, you will see that I'm telling Disney they can go take a long walk off the shore pier. Because I haven't turned on ESPN in this house since 2014. Okay? And the only channel out of their list of channels that I might miss would be FX. Other than that, all of them do not get turned on here at all. And so I'm asking Spectrum, I said, well, seeing as how we're not able to get those channels anyway because they turned them off, well, why don't you give me a programming opportunity where I can save some money, save me some money.
Give me a little money back since I can't get my shows. You got to pretend like you actually.
I don't care about this. Disney can die on the vine.
Give me my money back.
Well, Disney could die on the vine. Just offer me a different contract with them saying, hey, you're not going to have any of those channels and make it cheaper for me.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say 20% off. 20% off sounds reasonable.
Yeah, Spectrum is the provider. It used to be Roadrunner, okay? And that's who I get my phone and my internet through. So it's got great internet. So, and if my mom wasn't here anymore, well, there would be no cable because, hey, that's the only person that's really kind of watches that crap. And I don't. The only thing she wants is to be able to watch CSI Miami and Murder, She Wrote, pretty much. So, yeah. Nothing new. Yeah, Murder, She Wrote. So, I mean, Disney?
I was talking to someone here. I don't even remember who it was. Someone in the last week. They said something about television. I said, oh, I don't watch TV. They were like, oh, what? You must watch. And she named some, I don't know, British TV station. I don't know. And I was like, no, I've actually never watched a single program since we arrived in England in 2020. And she was like, nothing? I said, no, never. I don't own a TV. I mean, we have a TV, but it's hooked up to like video games, like the Xbox. So like the TV is for the Xbox, and that's it. We don't watch TV. And the look on her face of complete and utter, what do you do if you don't watch television?
So I don't know if you guys saw Bill Maher on Joe Rogan. He was on, and there is a little while there where you catch clips and stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't even know why. Like, why did Joe Rogan even have him on?
I would say because Joe
pressure,
Rogan likes to make an effort to have all the people on, including the people he
Because
fucking-
Bill was just down the road, literally, and you can kind of tell that Rogan maybe bumped into him at like the subway store and was like, "Oh, let's go do a fucking show while you're here," because it was the shortest Rogan I think that there's ever been. Actually,
How long was it total? I didn't see.
an hour, just over.
Those Maui fires, if there was nothing to hide, if there was nothing fucking dirty, if there was nothing shady going on, then why the walls? They're putting walls up all around it, those black fucking fences and the walls all around it. They've been actively, harmfully attacking journalists. They've been no-fly zones for drones. They've been like, they cordon the people. There's so much dodgy shit going on with that. It's a fucking field day for the conspiracy theorists, and I think they're feeding it on purpose. It's been a great distraction, one way or the other.
Great distraction going into September.
We've got the link. It's only a couple of minutes long. That it's well worth. It's only like the highlights. I've seen the old 20-minute thing, like, but that's
Well,
worth
okay,
a
so-
watch.
Okay, and I'll pull that up. Thank you, Paul. Gorf just said the RCMP won't let anyone into the fire areas in BC as well. And yes, there's a lot of very suspicious shit going on. Now, well, the fires in BC happen every fucking year. Like I said, Nick grew up there every fucking year. Those kind of fires. But what's sus is how it's all being dealt with now. How it's all being dealt with is suddenly
Draconian measures,
very,
lockdown,
very
fucking
sus. Lockdowns,
militarized police.
yeah, like shutting off the water hydrants. Like what? Wait, what? They shut off the water hydrants. Fire hydrants.
Yeah, they're shutting off the hydrants in neighborhoods so people can't like try and protect their own homes. And if they catch people putting out fucking fires, they'll like charge them and drag them away.
Wow.
Oh, Canada. But now let's do a little bit of a tally, shall we? How long when did FEMA come into existence? While we're going through, let's build the story right now, because it's not brand new. FEMA's been around for a while, hasn't it?
Yep. But like they do nothing. They never get there on time.
How many disasters have they shit the bed on?
Like mega disasters. So like Maui, like Hurricane Katrina. They do nothing. And when they do finally show up, it's like
apparently it's been
5
around
days.
since 1979.
Yeah, they do jack shit. It's ridiculous. I mean, and I've had several encounters with FEMA in my own personal experience. And they don't do anything to really help people. Sometimes they actually hinder. And years ago, I was speaking with a guy who used to be in some branch of the service, pretty high up. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But he told me FEMA had nothing to do with managing emergencies. It was to manage people.
So,
and that's the thing. In all these, in every single one of these disasters, there's massive in our circles, right? In our circles, obviously not the mainstream so much. In our circles, the stories that come out about how groups of people go down to this disaster area to help. And I don't just mean like a bunch of, hillbilly hicks, in their pickup trucks. I'm talking like firemen come from all states around to go and help. And they get turned away. They get to, no, you go away. People come in with like truckloads of food. No. And this, Jimmy, I was going to get there in just a second, Jimmy, because you're right. Like people show up with truckloads of water, truckloads of food, medical, all this stuff, and they get turned away, or in some cases, like shit gets confiscated and then put to the side to be ruined. There's many times where they have literally confiscated truckloads of food and then just put it off to the side and let it get completely fucking ruined and not a single piece getting out to the people.
After
the time.
They did that here after the last flood, Melda. There was a church not far in a neighborhood neighboring my neighborhood. And FEMA set up there, and all they gave, there was a lot of people that needed something to eat. And FEMA gave everyone, it was like just a cold sandwich and one bottle of water. And this is for the whole damn day. These people were there. So 12 hours later at dinner time, a group of people showed up with hot meals for those people that they had prepared. And FEMA tried to not let them give it out. They said, oh, no, we'll take it and we'll put it away and save it for tomorrow. And the whole point was to give the people a hot meal. Well, those people stood their ground, and they were somehow able to pass that food out because they just were not accepting FEMA's bullshit.
Yeah. But so Jimmy put in the chat, how many coffins did they buy before Rona came around? So lest we forget, this started like in 2011 that I know of personally, when they started buying all the massive rounds of ammunition. They started buying massive, ridiculous amounts of coffins and body bags. Like almost every year, a report comes out. All this kind of stuff. So that will be Friday. Now, again, we're starting the early times that we do for the homeopathy show. So it'll be 5 p.m. UK, which is 12 noon EST. So earlier day times for everyone over there in North America. Yes. So if you missed the chat that we had Saturday night, that is now out. They're removing the shackles, and we had Jason Brashears from RKX was on, and we had a really good it was like 3 hours went by so fast. Holy crap. I can't believe how fast that went. But that is also out and available on RTS Earth. And that's it for tonight. I'll see you guys again next week.
Sept is the right one. Not too sharp, I got anything left. Look for it at the right time, but it doesn't seem to come. Or do I get distracted?